Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of Pick and Roll right here on the Board YouTube channel of the Hammers NBA Content Division. And we're here today with no NBA games in the slate, but it is NBA All-Star Weekend here. There's a bunch of events. We're going to be covering those events and also the game as well to give you picks for almost all of the events, plus some additional picks for the actual game itself, whether it be via the MVP selections or whether it be through the player prop selection. So this is going to be one of the most loaded shows we've ever had on Pick and Roll. I'm excited. I've got some picks as well. Pips has some picks he's going to be sharing. So if you guys are excited, ready for All-Star Weekend, ready to hear the picks, make sure you do hit the like button. I'm wearing my old All-Star jersey, the Fred VanVleet All-Star jersey from a couple of years ago to celebrate the festivities here. So I'm clearly excited. And also reminder to subscribe to the channel. Picks all throughout the NBA season, every weekday morning, 9:45 a.m. Eastern time, plus the additional Thursday afternoon show, where even Kirk Evans actually had a couple of selections for the All-Star game itself. So, Pips, going into the All-Star weekend, is the All-Star weekend typically one that you go through heavily betting, or is it something you just find little spots here and there?
Yeah, it's just like for fun stuff. I not never take it seriously. I think I did bet some stuff like last couple of years on Doncic and Jokic unders, as these guys don't care, and those were like generally good bets. But more often than not, I'm just consider it like fun and taking some time off, using that time to just relax a bit, enjoy some time off because NBA is everyday thing and I
It's a
don't have
grind.
much time left during the season, so I'm using this heavily.
Listen, the players complain. They play every other day in the NBA. Pips works every single day on this stuff. So yeah, you need a little bit of time off. So as a result, for the picks today, they're going to be unofficial picks for the show. However, anything that I give out, that I personally given out, I have bet exactly as I gave out. So at the same unit size, everything that I gave out, I have absolutely bet everything that I'm ready to give out. All right, let's. Sorry, funny one from D. Shift here. I believe located in the UK, saying finally getting some sleep. That should be nice as well. Yeah, I might sleep in a little bit with these early mornings here. We'll see. But let's get into the events here. We'll go chronologically as best as possible. So Rising Stars is today. I personally don't have anything for the Rising Stars. Anything you have for that?
Yeah, that's no go for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably something. Yeah, I don't know if they get any props out for it. So,
Yeah.
when,
I got nothing. Um,
yeah,
I looked around. There's really nothing I could go with. So let's get into the meat here. We'll start with the skills challenge. I believe that is the one that goes first. So if you guys don't know, the skills challenge is going to be the same format as last year. It's going to be the relay. It's going to be the passing challenge, and it's going to be the shooting challenge. There is Team All Stars, which is Scotty Barnes, Trey Young, and Tyrese Maxey. There is Team Top Picks, which is Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, Paolo Banchero, and there's Team Pacers, which is Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, and Benedict Mathurin. So three teams there. I'll get us started here. I personally have a pick on this one. I spoke about it on the Thursday show as well. I feel as though team top picks should not be favored here. They are favored. I was hoping when the lines would open, we'd get a good price on Team All Stars, and it's way better than expected. I'm personally gonna go with Team All Stars. That's Scotty Barnes, Trey Young, Tyrese Maxey. Best price I found was plus 185 at BetMGM. I went zero point 0.7 units on this one. I'm happy to take this to plus 160. I think there's a lot of wiggle room here. I really don't think team top picks should be favored. So obviously, factoring into the handicap here, you have to consider motivation, which if you are, Pacers might be a good look. Team Pacers, I think there's a plus 220 out there that I think is also quite good there. But really, I don't think that the team top pick should be favored. This is the most versatile skill set here for the relay portion of the event. Tyrese Maxey, Trey Young are going to be probably the best two players involved in this. You can maybe give Tyrese Halliburton a bit of a nod, but I think the best two players suited for this event are Tyrese Maxey and Trey Young. Obviously, again, motivation dependent, specifically with Trey Young there. And I think Scotty Barnes is going to be able to hold his own in each of the events. You have the passing event, Trey Young, exceptional passer. Tyrese Maxey is a great passer, as is Scotty Barnes. And I think there's just enough on the other teams where, Wembanyama, as good as he is, might be a bit clunky for some of these events. Miles Turner, for sure, will be a bit clunky for some of these events. Ben Mathurin doesn't pass the ball, period, in NBA games. I struggle to see him ultimately succeeding in some of these. So I think the most well-rounded team by a good amount is Team All Stars. I'm personally shocked that we're getting as good of a price as we are on this. So plus 185 is what I have here at BetMGM. Anybody should be able to get that. Pips, any thoughts on that in this event?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you said. I think knowing Trey Young, he is never messing around, so he'll be in his like competitive style here. Maxi for sure for his first All Star, like that's just the thing. And I think Scotty Barnes will also approach this because he's also this for his first All Star appearance. So yeah, I'm competitiveness in that group is also probably the highest one. The skills set, yeah, as you said, Trae Young is the best player here out of anyone. Tyrese Maxey probably tied on the second place with Tyrese Halliburton. When you look at the everything involved, and Scotty Barnes does better than third options on other two teams. He's better than Matthew and Turner for this. On the other team, probably better than Banquero and Wemby for this kind of challenge. So yeah, their first two players are the best in the competition. Third player is better than most second players on other teams. So yeah, this makes sense for them to be favorite. Probably plus 100, plus 120 should be the price for this one, but we'll see how
Yeah.
it goes.
When before, so making up prices in my head for this event, I was thinking, okay, I really hope I can get a plus 130 or 40 at the very least. And I'm getting plus 185. I think this is a great spot. I say plus 160 or better because like that's out there. You can easily find that. You should be able to get the plus 185. But honestly, like if this was plus 140, I would have snatched it up when it was open. So I definitely like this spot. Don't I'm not going heavy on these again. Point seven of
Yeah.
a unit on this because like there's so many variables for the alls. Like guys maybe won't be at 100. Obviously, are not going to be playing at 100%. They're not going to go full out for these events. So keep in mind a little bit of variance there, but I definitely like this spot. We'll shift over to the 3-point contest. Funny enough, me and Pips have the exact same play for this one. It is Damian Lillard to win the 3-point contest. For me, this is more of a price play. I do think he should be favored. He's actually not favored on Betway, and he's at plus 550. This one's a bit tough. It's not many places have as good of a price as this. Plus 500 or better for me works for this at point 0.4, a fourth of a unit here, but or point 0.4 unit, excuse me. But plus 550 for Damian Lillard. He's the best at hitting from range. Like obviously, you've got other people involved with the 4-point shot who could do that, but I think that gives Damian Lillard just such an edge to be a lot better than his opponents at that. He's got a history of performing well in this event. Everything's here. This is really a price play. Plus 450, plus 550 is just outrageous here. I was kind of looking at Donovan Mitchell, because he's lower down in the field than I thought. I saw plus 900 out there. That might have been my favorite play if I didn't see this, but I mean, plus 550 is just too good to pass up for Dame. Pips, you had thoughts on all the players here. Yeah, you want to go through your side of this one as well?
Uh, first, uh, first I'll say my part of this agreement.
Yeah,
Well, the best long range shooter in this competition is Trey Young. Like I don't think that's like the guy is shooting like 40% out, 30 feet out. Like it's insane. He's actually shooting better from 30 feet out than from the close to the 3-point line, which is insane. That's why if I'm thinking between these two guys, I'm taking Daniel Lillard for sure. Like he's second best outside, and he's probably the best or top three inside shooter. I like his motion. I like when he gets hot. He just need to qualify for the first from the first round. In the second round, if he gets hot, he's winning. So like if he gets hot, he is probably winning it. And you have plus 500, 550, 500 on this one. I mean, he already won. So yeah, I just think so. He won and he joined again. So I think his motivation is good. Like when people want to win and they can come back to the 3 points contest, they are favorites. They should be favorites. And yeah, I just think value is great. Everyone is in the same range. I will just go like Tyrese Halliburton, great 3-point shooter. I'm struggling with his form for this competition, like to get all the shots up in time with his form. Like it will be interesting. I don't know about Jalen Brunson. Don't see it for him at all. So like going with elimination, I would say like Trey Young also close range 3-point shooting. Not a fan. So yeah, we are left with Carl Anthony Towns who won earlier. I don't see him making those deep outside threes. So that's the thing. And Laurie Markkanen is like
Yeah, I
I
liked
don't
him
know.
last year, and he was
Yeah,
terrible. I'm not putting my money on
yeah,
him
yeah,
again.
yeah. So not a great competition for him. Interesting one for me was Malik Beasley. I think he's a great shooter, and I think this competition kind of suits him well. But yeah, if I have 6 plus 60, 600, 650 for Beasley and 550 for Lillard, I'm going with Damian Lillard. That's a no brainer. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, agree completely. We had the same play, didn't organize this. We just showed up. We both liked this one. The price is the price is too good here, considering what we get here. Message came in from Chad in the chat saying that the crowd determines who wins the skills event. It will be Pacers just like in Indy, just like it was Utah and Utah last year. So so if it's motivational factors for sure that plays a part as I mentioned, but like it's completely point driven based on the events. Like, the crowd has no influence on the winner from point standpoint. They could influence motivation wise, but I remember last year we were on, you and me were both on the Utah team. I don't quite remember the teams, but I think it was just a case that they were the best team involved, and also the fact that they were also for the fact that they were at home
good
that
odds.
aided with it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. Where is Dame plus? I'm not sure. I'm just saying if you can find plus 500 or better, I would take that. But Betway 550, that is definitely the price to go with for the Dame play here. If there's fluctuation anywhere, I would play this down to 500. I'm not sure if that's available. I just look for the best price. Also featuring in this one, there is the 3-point shootout, which will feature Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. This is an interesting event to consider as well for all of the festivities. So there has been a little bit more confirmation in the last day or so that Sabrina is going to be shooting from the NBA line for this event. So I was prepared to go with Sabrina for the shorter 3-point line because she's a very good shooter, and I recognize absolutely she's a capable shooter even from the NBA lines, but Steph Curry does this religiously. I personally favor Steph Curry quite a lot, and I'm prepared to take Steph Curry minus 200 at ESPN Bet to win this event. I don't think you can go any higher on this one. Minus 200 is probably the cap, but Steph Curry is religiously shooting at this exact same line. He has participated in events with this line. I know, obviously, Sabrina is going through all the preparation necessary for this event here, but minus 200, I feel very good about Steph Curry winning this event. There's going to be plenty of motivation on both sides to win here. Yeah, that's all I really have to say here. Just the adjustment. It's a large adjustment going from the WNBA line to the NBA line, no matter how much you're practicing there. Like, this is all Steph Curry does. Pips, agree, disagree on the handicap here?
if Steph take it seriously, that should be minus 1,000. I mean, I watched Sabrina, and but if they just move it to the NBA line, like he wins like 9 out of the 10 times if he take it seriously. So
Yeah,
probably
look,
this line is there because they don't know how serious he will take it, but he should take it seriously because yeah, I don't think
you won't want to lose this.
NBA, yeah, don't
Absolutely
want to
won't want
lose.
to lose this. Again, if she was at like the WNBA line, that we don't, I'd have a conversation about like if there's like a 220 out there for her. But everything I've seen is that she has specifically said that she is going to be on the NBA line. I'm comfy taking this one. Not really sure on whether I'd take Steph Curry over under 24 and a half on made attempts there. Um, I just prefer to go with like the straight win. He'll like take into consideration perhaps what she's done that could factor in, but um, I'm personally just going to stick with the just to win the event here of the two. I can't strongly give an opinion on the amount of made shots. But anything else
Yeah,
on this?
this is
Okay.
like the same as the NBL 3-point contest with long range ones.
I am actually not 100% sure on that.
If it has the long range ones, then it's a like easy win for Steph Curry.
I would feel even stronger about this play with the
Yeah.
confidence if there is a 4-point shot as well. Yeah, agreed. If so, I would also think 24 and a half is something that he can get to, but I'm going to stick with the handicap on this play here. All right. Let's move to the dunk contest. This is one that last year we did not foresee the Mac McClung rise here. He was like right in the middle of the pack in terms of odds when we did the show last year, closed as the huge favorite, dominated the event. And there's some interesting players out there this year as well, but I don't know. I think I've seen enough here. Mac McClung to me, minus 185 DraftKings, best I found. Yeah, I'm gonna just go see. I'm just hoping for the back to back here. Jalen Brown, Jaime Jaquez. I don't see them pulling out the stuff that Mac McClung is gonna pull out. For Jacob Toppin, that one concerns me maybe a tiny bit more, but for me, I don't think any of the players here are throwing out what Mac McClung is throwing out. The dunk contest last year probably completely changed his life. He got a shoe deal out of it. He is going to take this so seriously. He's the favorite. He should be the favorite. I'm prepared to go up to minus 200. I saw minus 200s out there, but minus 185 at DraftKings. If you watch this show normally, that should be fine to get. Jacob Toppin, I think, is worth a look. Chance W mentions he's plus 600 at FanDuel. I actually think that's a pretty good price as well. But to me, I'm gonna back Mac McClung here. Pips, do you have any takes on this event at all?
Zero.
Zero takes. Well, there you go.
Zero.
There you go. I've seen Mac McClung do it. I'm sure that he's ready to follow up last year, maybe even exceed last year. Minus 185 here for me is a play I'm quite comfortable taking. Minus 200. That's what I was looking for, honestly. Minus 200 or better. I'm seeing minus 185. No problems for me. Gonna go with him here. Okay. I think we're at the actual game itself here. So I do have an MVP here. Pips has two player props. Pips, do you want to take us through the player props you have for this event first of all?
I actually had have another one
Okay.
because the line on the line wasn't up on the FanDuel, but I found it on the BetMGM, and I'll have some long one also, so it will be very interesting. So for the first pick, I'm going to share Jalen Brown over 15.5 points, minus 122 on FanDuel. Just check for a second. Second for to check just 15 plus on. Yeah, it's juicy, very juicy. So I'm going with this. Yeah. So last All-Star game, he managed to rack up 27 field goal attempts in limited minutes of the bench. So yeah, I think if it's he seems very similar approach. he I'm just like saying like all-star betting, props betting is more like to which player will be motivated and which player will be aggressive and which player is trying to score. But there are so many players that will go out in the all-star game and just stand there and pass the ball and don't care. That will be the part of second bet. But Jalen Brown obviously not one of them because he racked up 27 field goal attempts in his first All-Star game. So I'm just expecting him to like even if he takes 10 field goal attempts in this one, he should cover this line because like everyone's shooting 70% in the All-Star games. So yeah, I'm just like this one based on what we saw in his earlier All-Star games. His usage was highest on the team, which is insane. So too low of a line. Second one is Shea Gilgeous Alexander over 16.5 points, also minus 122 on FanDuel. Only betting this because he's playing in unit with Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. These guys have history record of not giving a flying fuck about scoring at the All-Star games. So someone needs to score, someone needs to take the shot. He's playing with LeBron James, probably looking to pass a lot more. And KD, I don't know, like didn't he missed so many All-Star games, so maybe it's down to KD and Shea to score, but 16.5 for a starter, first appearance. Yeah, I think he'll be hungry to show the world on big stage. So I'm going with Shea here, and I have third one addition. BetMGM, Paul George, 15 plus points. Going back to the Indiana, he spoke how it means a lot to him to show up there. He will have a lot of people in the crowd probably, and he will try to put up a show.
What are the
And
odds on that? Did you say
plus 100.
plus 100? All right.
So 15 plus.
15 plus points for Paul George, plus 100 at BetMGM. There is Pips's third play for the actual game
Oh
itself.
yeah, sorry. I made a mistake.
You have another one?
No, it was. Oh, it's not a mistake. So it's under the tab, under 25 points at BetMGM, but it says 15 plus points. So I thought maybe I shared an under, but it's under. The section is called under 25 points, but those are lines under 25 points. It
Okay.
needs 15 plus points for Paul George. Yeah.
Okay. 15 plus points on Paul George for the actual game itself. There you go. So for me, I really like the Shea Gillis Alexander play. Didn't consider the teammates he would be playing with and how many shots he might be able to get up as a result. So definitely like that. And I also think beyond that, Shea's game is pretty tailor made for an NBA All Star game. He's able to kind of just size you up in mid range. That's the kind of shot that I think a lot of players are going to be looking for. So definitely feel as though that is a good spot to have for Shea. But I like this Paul George one quite a bit and the Jaylen Brown one. For me, I'm gonna kind of add on to the Paul George thing here. You spoke about it yesterday. I'm prepared to take Paul George for All Star Game MVP. This
Yeah.
price this price is not only do I like that handicap. This is also pretty far off of other sports books. Plus 5,000 at ESPN Bet. I went zero point 0.1 units on this one for Paul George All-Star Game MVP. I think FanDuel had this at 4,100, but it was at least plus 4,000, which is the lowest I'd go for this one. Yeah. Back in Indiana, I think this is too low. Probably not a likely winner because of he's not starting. But yeah, I completely agree with what you said. He's playing in Indiana. This kind of goes hand in hand with that 15 plus points. And I tell you, if he gets MVP, he's going to have to get 15 plus points as well. But I very much agree that he's hyped for this event
Yeah,
and he's going to
that
play
will be
well.
my pick. I would just was trying to like find the best price. So yeah, that's
Little
also
coast
my
humping.
pick. Yeah, it's like no brainer for me to take Paul George 5,000 on MVP. Back to Indiana is a big thing here. So like it's always up to motivation. If he scores 30 points off the bench and they win, and he's high scorer on the team, and all the crowd goes crazy for
Yeah,
Paul George
that's
and
true.
narrative and stuff, it will be it can win. So 5,000 is insane. Like this should be like plus 1,500 probably. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of solid numbers out there for Paul George on the
And
MVP front.
especially on the West, like Doncic and Jokic won't score that much, so there is always a room for them to for some guy off the bench. Doncic maybe won't even play. Like maybe he plays like 15 minutes and it says like I don't want to get back in there. And you have like Steph Curry or Paul George stepping in for more minutes, probably Steph Curry, but it could be as well Paul George in his town. Like other players also know he's back at Indiana and that it means a lot to him. So maybe they feed him more, and maybe there's some agreement. So like plus 5,000 is like it's an
It's
insane
it's
price.
it's way too high. It genuinely looking around, this is way too high. So, I'd
I'll
run to
also say, can you just check what's the best price for Thalys Halliburton to win MVP? I'm seeing
I was gonna mention, I believe the best I saw was 1,400 at FanDuel. I'll just verify that, but this was a play that I was gonna mention Kirk Evans gave out yesterday on this show for the same reasons. Tyrese Halliburton is playing. He's starting first of all, which is even better. He's playing in Indiana, of course. So
he'll score 10 threes in this game. Like,
so
he-
for same reason that kind of going for Paul George, you could also go for Tyrese Halliburton in this game.
when I'm betting on the MVP markets, I usually make two picks, and one from the East, one from the West, because probably a team that wins will have their own MVP.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Paul George from the West, and if I need to choose one from the East at a good price for to win, I think it's Tyrese Halliburton. Because if East wins, it's probably Tyrese Halliburton or the Giannis. So
Yeah, Giannis is a
probably an
favorite,
easy bet
rightfully
at
so.
that price for
Giannis, the only problem, Giannis hunts these MVPs. Giannis wants the MVP, so sometimes it's hard to dethrone. But I know I agree on
yeah.
Halliburton.
But
Um,
Tyrese Halliburton could end up like 30 points, 5 rebounds, and like 10 or 15 assists in this game. And if they win
yeah,
at
no,
Indiana,
I
at
agree.
Indiana, I think narrative could shift to Halliburton.
So I see
Also,
best price is plus 1,300 at ESPN. I swear I saw 1,400
I think
somewhere. I can't find it right now, but um, just 1,300 is the best I see right now, which is the stuff we usually have in this show. Elsewhere, it's 1,200 at DraftKings. But let me scour through a bit more. But yeah, I agree. Halliburton at home here. This all motivation in the world. He's starting. I like to go for players who can get super hot as well, shooting wise, because that always looks good for something
you
like
have
this.
a fresh memory out of the game against the Raptors. So
Yes, I do. Definitely know about Tyrese Halliburton. So that will do it, I think, for all the show picks. Anything else you wanted to add on before the weekend here?
absolutely no.
Absolutely not. All right, let's run through all the picks for today. So from the skills challenge, I'm going with Team All Stars to win the skills challenge plus 185 at BetMGM, zero point 0.7 units here. Reminder: unofficial show picks. However, if my name is on it, I have absolutely bet it at the price that I have here. So you can track all of my bets publicly on BetStamp as well as we do for the show here. Up in the top right corner, you see pick and roll on BetStamp. My BetStamp profile the same as my social media handle right here. Anyways. Team All Stars plus 185 to win the skills challenge. We both have Damian Lillard to win the 3-point contest plus 550 at Betway. That's by far the best in market. If things fluctuate, look for plus 500 or better. If not, go to Betway. I have Steph Curry to win the 3-point shootout. That's minus 200 at ESPN Bet. Him against Sabrina Ionescu. No wiggle room here. That's the max price that I would take it. Further down in the dunk contest, I'm going with Mac McClung at minus 185. Play this up to minus 200. This is a 1-unit play as well. For the actual game itself, Pips is going with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander over 16.5 points, minus 122 at FanDuel. Jaylen Brown over 15.5 points, also minus 122 at FanDuel. And he also has Paul George 15 plus points for plus 100 at BetMGM. And we're both taking Paul George to win the All-Star Game MVP for plus 500 at ESPN Bet. And we're going, and I've gone with 0.1 units there. Feel free to stake as you would like for these events here. If you want to go, if you got a bonus bet, this would be a great time to use it on something like that, or however much you feel comfortable going to. Halliburton is also one that we looked at. He's plus 1,300 at ESPN Bet. And yesterday on the Thursday show, Kirk Evans also gave that one out, as well as he gave out a Eastern Conference money line bet. All right, guys, that will do it for the show today. Thanks so much for a great week here. It was a very nice week of winning on the show. Actually, we'll recap here the previous day's picks. A Steph Curry third quarter cash, I think it was. He had 5 assists, no rebounds at half, had a big third quarter. Absolutely no sweat here. So it was a win there. Just a quick word from you, Pips, on the play.
Uh, not as expected because we had Pojemski starting, took away some rebounding opportunities from
Yeah.
Steph, but the assist handicap was so good that he cashed only with assists in this one. So
Yeah.
yeah, interesting part of this game is how many times have we seen in the history that Draymond Green scores more points than Steph Curry in a game?
I could. I don't know if I can find that on the spot, but that would be a very interesting statistic to look
Yeah,
up.
it
Probably
was
doesn't happen often.
close game. Golden State Warriors wins. They scored 140 points, and you have Steph Curry with 16 points and Draymond Green with 23. Just one insane game. It was
That's
so
got to
fun.
be quite the outlier. Our game they win and Draymond outscores Steph. That is
Yeah,
remarkable. But a win
yeah.
on the show. Good week in the profit on the season by a couple of units. Let's try to keep things going after the All-Star break. Keep it locked at the Board HQ on Twitter to know when we're doing shows, when we're doing content here. But we'll be back very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop a like if you enjoyed this one. An absolutely loaded episode, especially for tailing the picks. That deserves a like. We'll see you again very soon.